Hi, Namashi. It's lovely to speak to you, and I totally love what you're wearing. There are so many colors in it, and I quite like what you're wearing. Tell me, is it something that you choose?
Thank you, ma'am. It's wonderful to see you through Zoom. Well, this is a brand called Tista Bene, Tistabene.
Okay,
It's a brand from Jaipur, India, from Rajasthan.
okay,
And I caught fancy of their shirts and I wear a lot of their stuff. So this is a
okay.
shirt from that company.
Oh, interesting. Nice colors, and you have an eclectic sense of color, and I've seen your Instagram, which is very colorful.
Well, yes, well, I try to be colorful because I think life needs color. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. And okay, let's talk. Of course, the fact that you resemble your father, you resemble Mr. Mithun Chakraborty quite a bit, and I'm sure a lot of people have told you that.
Yeah.
And the fact that we saw you on reality shows dancing with him as well, and and you're also sharing screen space with him in Bad
I
Boy.
am.
So tell me
Yes.
about that experience first, and then we'll go backward about your acting interest and stuff.
So yeah, it was surreal. So Bad Boy, unfortunately because of COVID and because this year, as you know, till March 2022, India was very unstable.
Right.
So we didn't get a good release this year, and the theatrical business has been pretty low. So we
Mm-hmm.
decided to 2023. We are making an announcement very soon about the release. But
Mm.
speaking of that, I mean, I got to dance with him in my very first film,
Yeah.
and the music in the film is by Himesh Reshamya,
Okay.
and it's a chartbuster song. It's called Janabe Ali, and I got to like dance with him for like 15 to 20 seconds,
Okay.
and it was I think it was a dream come true, and also a great experience to work with a legend of
Yes,
the
of
film
course.
industry, not just my father, and undoubtedly the first dancing star of India.
Yes.
So it was just surreal, and it was too much fun.
So, is he like when you're working with him, the equation is the same, or is he stricter? What is the equation with him when you're on
Well,
set?
as soon as he came on set, the first thing he told me was, now I'm not your dad, I'm an actor, and
Hmm.
I don't like retakes. So if तेरी वजह से retake हुआ, तो I'm gonna shout. And fortunately, I had rehearsed so much for that song. It's basically the first song of the film, and I'm dancing in it all through. And in
Okay.
the last, there is a cameo by Dad, and I had rehearsed every step non-stop, so I was pretty confident that I won't make a mistake.
Okay.
And fortunately, because it was the first time, father son together in a
Yeah.
Rajkumar Santoshi film, it was just electric. We had shot this in Hyderabad,
Hmm.
in Ramoji City, and it was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
So, was there some of his signature moves that we expect in the
Oh
film?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, okay. Also, the fact that your father was not surprised that you would join the film industry because you used to be only dancing to Govinda songs and Shah Rukh songs as you were growing up. So he said he always
Absolutely.
knew it. So tell me about that growing up, and then this entire dancing thing was always part,
Yeah. So the thing is, I have been a Bollywood,
buff.
how do I say, Bollywood buff, a Hindi film buff. I would not just say Hindi, but movies that are made in India from all languages.
Right.
I've been a very film person, and yes, Govinda is undoubtedly my idol.
Hmm.
And Shah Rukh, of course, also I loved in the 90s.
Hmm.
And the best thing is, I grew up to a film star,
Hmm.
who had always been a superstar of the 80s.
Right.
So when I was aware, as soon as I gained consciousness, I knew he's a very important man,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I started watching his films, and I always was fascinated by, the magic of the movies.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the dance bit is because, I was a very shy kid.
Yeah.
I grew up, I was born in Mumbai, but, we moved to Ooty and
Hmm.
then Coimbatore. So I had a very introverted childhood. I was a very overweight kid.
Hmm.
But once I started losing weight, I gained a lot of confidence. And then dance, I mean, I'm a student of Shamak Dawa.
Hmm.
तो वहां से डांस का जब एक चस्का लगा, उसके बाद I have been quite the dancer, I would say. I
Hmm.
love to dance.
Okay. And who are the actresses that you enjoy watching on screen who are dancers?
Dancers, well, Madhuri ma'am is phenomenal. She was, I would say Madhuri Dixit is the quintessential Bollywood
Dancer.
heroine.
Yeah.
She was brilliant. Hema ji used to be a great dancer.
Yeah.
The late great Sri Devi ji was a brilliant dancer.
Hmm.
And I think in today's time, I don't know who's a really good dancer, but Deepika Padukone, I would believe, is quite a good dancer.
Okay. Now, you always wanted to be an actor? Were you always in front of the mirror enacting stuff? How was your childhood? Even if you were introverted, was it like that while you're growing up?
Well, according to my mom, as soon as I was out of the womb, I said I wanted to be an actor. But I did not have a plan B, I'll be honest. But because I was always surrounded by films and I was fascinated by the movies, I always did want to be an actor. But because, I graduated from Cambridge and then I had a long time before I could mature and become an adult, I started working as a writer. I was a writer for
Film critic,
imdb.com for
apparently.
about 9 years.
Film critic?
Uh, Not a film critic. I used to review films, but yeah, I don't mind that tag if that's the deal. But I would not necessarily review the new films. I would also watch classics and movies of a different era. And I did that for about 9 years.
Okay.
And then I got into this field, and yeah.
So writing, you still write? You write films as well?
I do write. I do write a lot. I've written short films. I write stories. I write scripts myself. But I would not call myself a full-fledged writer. I'm a full-fledged actor first.
So what did you study at Cambridge?
I studied English literature.
Okay.
I graduated from English literature, and that's how IMDb was easy for me because, I had decent vocabulary and I used to write well. I was 17 years old when I started writing for IMDb just as a hobby.
Okay.
And then wo dekhte dekhte it just became a thing, and then that went on for 9 years.
Okay, that's a lot of work in terms of writing. Being a writer, I can say that too. Okay, and then growing up in a household where your mother is also has been an actor,
Absolutely.
father too. So, what are your mother's films that you like the most?
Well, I've not seen much of my mom's work because she gets very annoyed talking about her film. She's not a big fan of her work, but I've seen the ones she's done with my dad. I've seen Peace, I've seen Beshak, I've seen a few movies I've seen Parwana, the one she did with Mr. Bachchan. So I've seen a few movies, but she tells me not to see it. I think she's a bit not too, yeah.
Okay, and your dad's films, which are the ones that you enjoy?
Everything.
Everything.
I have seen everything from Rigya to the Kashmir Files. I have seen every single film of my. What I love the most, well, I love Mrigya, of course. I love Agnipath.
Yeah.
I love
Krishna
Disco Dancer.
Krishna, I mean, iconic characters. So many iconic.
All of them. Yeah, I love Prem Pratigya. I love Mujrim. Jallad.
Disco Dancer.
Absolutely, Disco Dancer.
Dance.
Dance.
Yeah.
You just said it. And Phool Aur Angar, all these films, I just,
Pyar
and
Jhukta.
also I think Pyar Jhukta Nahi was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I would say there was another film that he did called Vivekananda, where he played Ramakrishna. He won a national award for that. I think that is also another great film that he did.
What is that because I know that Mr. Mithun Chakraborty has been part of charities and he refuses to talk about it. And I also know the fact that there have been charities that he was part of and he pulled his name out because he didn't want to be even mentioned there. That side of him, a lot of people don't know. Growing up in a household like that, knowing that, there is also giving in the family, how does that translate into your life?
Well, I've seen that from the very first day, not only from my dad's side, but even my mom. And I would like to tell you this with a lot of humility. The legacy moves on. Okay. I will never talk about it, but I try my best to help out as many those in need. And I'm a very small person, but I do believe that I come from a legacy where we believe that you should help the helpless. And yes, we never talk about it because we just don't feel the need to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. Also, tell me about this typical star kid baggage that people associate you with. Saying, do you have it? And I know you like to shed it. You don't want to go the regular route or talk about it again. But how's it been? Like you go to auditions without people knowing who you are. How's the experience been?
So the thing is, it's very funny how my career has it's taken off. So in 2016, when I was like 7 years old in IMDb and I had written about 3,000 write-ups and I was burnout. I'm like, now I need to focus on acting. So I began my journey without informing my dad or mom or my siblings.
Okay.
I just went on, online and I looked at these places where they would have, these auditions happening. As you have been in Mumbai, I'm sure you know. There is this area in Mumbai called Versova, and in Versova there is this audition hub called Aram Nagar. Aram Nagar Part One, Aram Nagar Part Two. You know, and that's how I just started my journey. And no, I never ever
Uttered.
mentioned whose son I am.
Hmm.
Never. No, and nor did they know me because we are not the star
Yeah.
kids that most star kids I think who will have lived in Mumbai all their lives.
Yeah.
You just know them because they're seen. We were not here for like 15, 12 years in the middle. So when we shifted back in 2007, we were living in Mud Island. We didn't feel the need to be seen. And that time my brother was launched in the movies, so the attention was on him. So nobody knew me. I was a rank newcomer. I was like any other boy in Mumbai. And I have stood in lines. I have been rejected without auditions. I have been told I'm not fit. I have been told, I don't have the looks of a mainstream hero as well. But I always believe that no matter what happens, everybody won't get your talent, but somebody will. So for 2 years, I was, just trying to be somewhere, trying to get work. And I did get work. For some reason, it could happen. But then in 2019, March 2019 is when I got my first film.
Wonderful. And then you went through the ups and downs of rejection and feeling bad about it. And how did you deal with that emotion? Were you prepared for it?
Well, I'll be honest. I was not prepared for it. I'll be very honest. I'm a very confident person. I never underestimate myself. I never doubt myself. But when the rejections kept happening frequently, it did take a hit on me.
Yeah.
And I did have a little insecurity. I did lose some
And
self-esteem.
all
But
this while your parents didn't know that you're doing this.
no, they had an idea.
Okay.
They had an idea. But the thing was, I was still very young. I was 23 when I started out. And I used to look even younger. So it's not like I was not called for auditions. In fact, let me share a very interesting story with you. The very first audition that I did as an independent actor, I was selected for it.
Okay.
The first time I faced the camera without any baggage of any star son of or anyone for that matter. It was my first audition in Andheri, I remember, and I was selected. They said that's it. Just unfortunately that week, like literally the week the shoot was happening, just 2 days before that, I lost my mama, and it was a very, it was a very
Big loss.
difficult time, and I just couldn't, leave my family aside. And but the fact of the matter is, when as soon as I entered the room, I was selected. So my confidence was high because it was a great start.
Yeah.
And then I would get work, but somehow it would not happen. Sometimes the auditions would just not be good enough. And also, a lot of times the casting director has to like push you to get to a certain point. And a lot of times when they don't know whose son you are, or they don't really, necessarily look at you in a certain way, it's very possible those tapes never reached to the director and all those.
Yeah, right.
So
Okay.
yeah, 2 years that was also fun. I don't look back and think it was any depressing time or anything. It was a great time.
Okay. Also, the fact that growing in a household with both parents who are actors, you would also have a lot of guests at home who would come, who are also legends, who are also people around, who are noted people in the film industry. For a child, how does that enhance his own perception of cinema?
So it's very interesting you asked that. And the thing is, for us, it was not our house, but it was our hotel in Ooty.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a hotel in Ooty called the Monarch.
Yeah.
It's been there for the last 29 years.
Okay.
So as soon as we moved to Ooty in late 94, uske baad 90s mein, the one place that the film industry loved, the Hindi film industry, was Ooty.
Oh,
So believe it or not, the Monarch Hotel was like a film city.
Okay.
There's not one actor who did not stay with us. So I have grown up seeing actors all around me, even though I was in Ooty. क्योंकि shootings non-stop होती थी. My dad at that point was doing 10, 20 films a year. So I have seen actors literally in and out from the last 30 years. So I have been around these people as much as the perception that you ask, not really. I have I have a legendary father at home.
Hmm.
And he's such a simple and humble guy. I think I prefer that lifestyle over what people like to believe of, the film industry.
Hmm. Okay. You mean simplicity and
Simplicity and humility, yes.
right. And you grew up in Ooty, so do you speak any Tamil?
Very less, very less.
Hmm.
Because we lived in Ooty for 6 years and then we moved to Coimbatore.
Hmm.
And I studied in Cambridge University. So वहाँ पे they did not teach us Tamil.
Hmm.
तो वहाँ पे थोड़ा confusion हो गया था. वहाँ पे they only patronized Hindi.
Ah,
So
okay.
I lost touch because of that. And then 2007 se I've been in Mumbai. So, you
Okay.
know,
Okay. Also, the fact that a lot of songs that you put up on Insta come from a certain era of music. It's not, I
yeah,
mean, of course, there are some current songs as well, but a lot of songs are really from a certain era. So, is that your choice in
yeah.
music as well?
I am a complete 90s kid. I was born in 92 and I think I still belong to the 90s. I don't connect with today's music as much.
Hmm.
So my playlist jo hai, even at the gym, my friends, I go to Soho House to work out and everybody's like, dude, you're listening to Dil and Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge while you're running. And I'm like, yeah, that's my vibe. If
Hmm.
somebody tells me to play a song from today, I might not enjoy it as much. So
Right.
I'm a pura pakka 90s kid.
Okay. And what are the films that you enjoy watching? Is it also, what are the current films which remind you of the 90s, in case that's your choice?
Of the 90s, I think, I'll be honest, Bad Boy has a very old school charm.
Okay.
It's literally, I would say, it is Rajkumar Santoshi's take on the Rishikesh Mukherjee era,
Ah, okay.
the Rishikesh Mukherjee era. And I must tell you, I'm not saying this because, I'm the hero of the film or because it's my debut. It is such a simple, sweet, warm film,
Hmm.
and it has such a nice old school charm. And I think Rajji has done a great job in giving a tribute to Rishida. I mean, you will get glimpses of a Rishikesh Mukherjee film,
Yeah.
and it is a sweet film. I'm so glad it's turned out so well.
Okay. And what are the films that you like to watch? Any OTT specials that you like? Because today that's also, I mean, you can't miss the OTT as an important expression of cinema or content. What do you think about it? And
Well,
what?
OTT is new box office in a certain way because we are paying for our subscription. But this year, I would say I didn't see too much of OTT, but I liked Bestseller on Amazon. It had my dad in it. I thoroughly loved Good Luck, which is a brilliant series. I don't know if you're aware. I
Yeah.
loved Good Luck. I really enjoyed Scam 1992.
Yes. Yes. That's
These are some of the shows which were really good, and there was a lot of rubbish as well.
Did you watch
But I think,
Kumar?
yes, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved that film.
Mm. Yeah, very interesting take on traditions of India. Yeah. Okay. So, what is your kind of cinema? If I look at if you choose films, if you were to choose films, what is your kind of cinema?
Like, if I had to give you an example of today's times, it
Yeah.
would be a Rohit Shetty film.
Uh-huh.
And if we go a little back, it would be a David Dhawan film. And a little more back than that, then I would say a Manmohan Desai film.
Okay. All films.
And
Yeah.
of course, a Rajkumar Santoshi film. So these are the people that I look up
What
to.
is your favorite Rajkumar Santoshi film? Let me ask you that question.
Andaz Apna Apna.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's a classic. I think it's going to be we waiting for it to be remade forever, and I can't see anyone else right now, play those four iconic roles. But
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Also, so many other films. There is Ghayal. There are so many other important films that.
All the films, Legend of Bhagat Singh, Ajab Prem Ki Gazab Kahani, Ghayal, Ghatak,
Yeah,
all the films that he made in that era.
yeah,
I mean, he's a legend.
yeah. What did you learn from him about your film?
Everything. I would say, when I got Bad Boy and I came to know Raji is the one who's helming the film, and Raji did a lot of look tests with
Mhm.
us, and he was really like, he's a lovely man. He really respects people. Even though I was a newcomer, he treated me so well. But on the set, he is such a perfectionist. He would do 15 to 20 takes of
Mm,
almost every shot, and I would at one point think, I'm feeling exhausted.
mm,
But he is such a brilliant actor's director. I would say this like right now, that if Bad Boy, my performance works, the entire credit, not just 90%, the 100% credit should go to Raji, because all I did was
Follow.
try to capitalize the vision. And when I would be stuck, believe it or not, he used to enact it and show it to me and Amreen, the lead actress opposite me.
Mm.
So agar acha kaam hua hai, touchwood, if you all like it, the entire credit goes to Mr. Santoshi.
Okay. And what did your father have to say about what you, I mean, did he watch parts of what you guys did together?
He surprised me on the first day. We were shooting in Bangalore,
Hmm.
and it was in the summer of 2019. We had just like it was the first day, and I was
Pre-COVID.
so nervous.
Hmm.
Just like a few months before
Hmm.
COVID,
Hmm. Hmm.
luckily. And he just surprised me on set, and he said, just follow Rajkumar Santoshi. He's a master craftsman. And then when he saw the film, the first cut, before we shot the songs and COVID happened, he was very happy with the work. He said, you have done a decent job for a first movie.
Oh, that's a good compliment. And what about your mom?
Mom loved it.
Yeah.
And mom was there almost throughout the shoot. We shot the film for about 75 days
Yeah.
in Bangalore and Mysore. So she was almost there throughout. And she was, I mean, if you're in a Raji set, you can't not have fun.
Hmm.
And Raji is truly, I'm actually spoiled, because I've got to work with such a perfectionist. अब मैं किसी के साथ भी काम करूंगा, I'll have to curb my expectations because he's truly one of a kind.
Okay. As a person, are you sensitive or are you?
Yeah.
Okay. You are. An artist is
Yeah.
sensitive usually. So, how do you protect your inner space?
It's very strange you ask that because I think with COVID, I
Hmm.
think a lot of expectations, hopes,
Hmm.
uh, projects, the timing of everything got pushed indefinitely.
Hmm.
Like I said, until March 2022, we did not even know if theaters would operate
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah. True.
Mumbai, I don't know rest of the world, but it was we didn't have a cinema going experience for almost 2 years.
Hmm.
But that got back, and then people started going for movies again. I think I gained a lot of confidence then. But as a person, if you ask me, delays don't bother me.
Hmm.
I believe in timing, and I definitely don't categorize myself as a man in a race. I am an actor, and I'm working independently as an actor. So if there are delays, they are very disturbing at times, no doubt. But I don't look at life as a race. I have a lot of patience.
Hmm.
As for the sensitivity, I'll be honest, I'm not sensitive about myself. I'm
Hmm.
very sensitive about the
Others.
work I do,
Hmm.
my family,
Hmm.
friends.
Hmm.
I am very open to criticism. I've seen rejection for 2 years.
Hmm.
And 2 years, I mean, not just like one audition a year. I have done, I would say, 5 auditions a week. So if
Okay.
that can also not work out, be it advertisement, films, web, at that point,
Hmm.
it's okay. I'm right here. I'm talking to such a renowned person like you. So it takes time, but when it has to happen, it happens. So in that sense, I'm not sensitive about myself, but I'm sensitive about the things that matter to me.
Okay. Do you also have any other interests apart from writing? Do you sing apart from dancing? Of course, we know that you dance. Do you sing? Do you
I'm
write
not a
lyrics?
I'm not
No.
a singer. My sister keeps yelling at me when I try to sing loudly. When I sing these Kumar Sanu, Udit Narayan, Abhijit songs, she's like, just shut up. So I am not the singer at all. But I have a great knack for writing and producing.
Hmm.
And I'm going to try my hand on that
Writing,
too.
you write lyrics as well, is what you mean.
I actually write, I would say I've written some short films till now.
Okay.
And lyrics भी कभी कभी, but yeah, I do prefer, I love to write. और वो, as you would know, एक बार आदत लग जाती है, then it keeps coming back to you.
You're right.
Writing is
And
a
literature
yeah,
helps
writing
you.
never.
Literature helps you to also form your words and your sentences in a more
Absolutely,
aesthetic manner.
absolutely.
Right. And what is the next then? Bad boy to ho gaya. I mean, first of all, most girls like bad boys, is what, as the cliche goes. Are you one? Are you one, or are you a good boy?
I don't think I'm a good boy or a bad boy. I would say I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I think it's a bit difficult to be good or bad in today's time. You have to be somewhere in the middle.
The gray, yeah.
But yeah, I would say gray boy for that matter. Uh, but yeah, I mean, after bad boy, there is something happening.
Hmm.
But you would know, ma'am, in our industry, you have to
Can't talk
zip
about
it.
it. Yeah. Mm.
We get too protective about the things we make. So once they're officially announced, we can talk about it in
Are you
full length.
excited about it as well? Is it different from the film that you're doing, or is it
Completely different.
okay?
Completely different.
What are the okay? So, do you like to play dark characters as well, or what is your choice of roles if you were to be given a platter?
So the thing is, I'll tell you something that a lot of people would probably know once, I am more known. I used to be a comedy improv artist.
Yes, I've
I
read
have
that
done,
part.
I've been improv,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've done, like, it's not stand up, but it's an improv. It's like improvised theater.
Hmm.
और वहां पे बिकॉज स्क्रिप्ट नहीं होती थी, कोई डायरेक्टर नहीं होता था, वी यूज्ड टू इम्प्रोवाइज एज अ टीम
Innovate, yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
ऑन स्पॉट. वी यूज्ड टू इम्प्रोवाइज ऑन स्पॉट.
And सबसे
सो इन
मुश्किल काम
दैट,
होता है ना लोगों को हंसाना.
एब्सोल्युटली, बहुत. एंड बिकॉज इट वाज ह्यूमर, वी कुड डू एनीथिंग, बट द थिंग इज वी वुड नॉट नेसेसरीली प्ले फनी पीपल.
Hmm.
So on stage, when I was live doing improv, I have played characters that are dark, that are humorous, that are colorful, that are heroic, that are patriotic. I have played the opposite gender. I literally, I think, lived the
All their life.
parts that all the lives, all the parts that possibly would not reach an
Hmm.
actor who just does one film. But that's the magic of improv. You do it live and
Hmm.
you play so many characters. And fortunately for that, most of the times I succeeded in making people laugh.
Hmm. So comedy is something that comedy. Okay, creating comedies are also not easy. Making people laugh is not easy, especially people who are determined to not laugh. And you have to
Yeah,
break the mold and make them lighten up, loosen up. So I
yeah,
think it's a lot of mind game there. It's not easy to do that at all.
absolutely. But if you ask me if I have a favorite genre in acting, it would be comedy.
Okay.
And Meri Pehli Picture in Bad Boy, the maximum I have done is comedy in the film. So
Okay.
us way मैं fortunate.
Very good. So look forward to Bad. I mean, when is it releasing? What is
2023 first half.
okay? First half, not very far away. We are at the end of December. I mean, middle of December
Oh, yeah.
exactly. Okay,
Yes.
congratulations. Hope to all the best. Good luck, and hope
Thank
to see
you
it
so
in
much.
theaters in Dubai, and hope to meet you in Dubai when you're here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
For sure.
pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.